make them feel like they are geniuses. Even if it's just making sure that your kids are confident people so that no matter where they find themselves, they don't feel like they're not good enough, is to give. Hi, my name is Ijeoma and welcome to EJ Uncut. Today I will be talking about confidence in children and how it's lacking in a lot of children and what we can do to help children be people who are confident, who are not really scared of things, who can take risks, who can believe in themselves and have the most minimal amount of self-doubt. And so if you're just joining me for the first time, welcome and subscribe to my channel, comment, like, share, and click on the notification bell. I saw a video. I was just scrolling, or just scrolling down the streets of Instagram, and I saw this beautiful post. Now, this post talks about this lady, right? I think she does more of parenting content and all of that. She's in Nigeria, and she talked about an example of how when she was younger, a teacher told her that she doesn't know anything. And most of the ways that people will tell you, you don't know anything, olodo, momo, blockhead, coconut head, and all of that. And these are some of the things that we experienced while growing up. I can understand that a lot of these people didn't know better, but then when we know better, it's always nice to learn from the experiences that we had and just filter out things. It's not like everything that we went through was bad, but then you can also look at the things that did you harm and filter out those ones so that you take what you feel was best and also learn from the society, learn from people's mistakes, learn from your mistakes, learn from life in itself. It's a bed of mistakes and lessons to be made if only we have that mindset. And so she said that a teacher called her a blockhead or something like that in the presence of all her classmates, and she was so embarrassed. And since then, you would never catch her studying with other people or doing public speaking. And I think it's kind of a big breakthrough that she's even into content or content creation, because that is something that will break you, and it's automatically is this voice in your head, like it gets into your subconscious. And even when you have the opportunity to showcase things, to teach people things, to let people learn about the things that what you can offer to the world, then you begin to doubt yourself. You tell yourself that you're not good enough, you're not and there was a statement I saw somewhere. I can't even remember where I saw it, but it says that loud mediocre people would always do better than people who are really there but are quiet. So it's basically like you have to beat your own drum, if not. And so that affected her confidence, and now she was talking about how she prevents that from happening to her children, and so she does her best to make sure that the children have confidence and don't allow anything dampen their self-esteem that way. And that's why I'm going to talk about it here. I'm going to talk about how some of the things that we experienced affected our confidence levels. I feel like some people are even confident now, but then there are some things, like if not for certain experiences, probably they might have been more confident than they are. There are some things we see, in our societies. We see people, you stay and you call your children, look at you, blockhead, you don't know anything, look at you, you will not amount to anything in this world. It's even worse when a parent does that. It's worse when you as a parent will be the first source of esteem blocker. That's what I call it. You'll be the first esteem blocker for your kids. And one thing people fail to understand is that as a parent, even as a grown-up, your subconscious is your parent's voice. But we don't know. And I'm not here to say that I'm a parenting expert or anything, but these are some of the things we know from experience. We observe these things, we are aware of them. And one of the ways to prevent your children from not being confident, in other words, just making sure that your kids are confident people so that no matter where they find themselves, they don't feel like they're not good enough, is to give positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement can never be overemphasized. Because sometimes, and it's also something, even as an adult, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to, learn how to also let people know their good sides, not always complaining of, that thing that they did that was not good enough for me or something. And so when your child does something good, let them know that you're proud of them. It's so many people have different schools of thoughts about this. But one of the things I can say is that balance is key. And so when your child does something good, even if you don't want to overpraise them, you can more often than not let them know that they did good. You can even tell them that they can do better. You let them know that this thing you do, your effort was really appreciated. I'm so proud of you for doing that. That effort, it was so good that you created that, or the result of this hard work is phenomenal. But just letting them know, oh my goodness, that's so good. Oh my goodness, how did you do that? You make them feel like they are geniuses, even if they know that they didn't do anything special, at least from your adult point of view. They did not do anything special. But then at their level, it probably might be something new. It's something that probably they cracks their head to do. It's some but then you make them understand that they did a good job. And guess what? Even in Igbo language, they say Onye keleze eze emekwa ọzọ. It simply means when you appreciate someone, they want to do more. And it's not even within the concept of showing gratitude to that person only. It also comes from just appraisal, just letting someone know that they did good and it boosts their self esteem. Am I saying that you just shouldn't tell them when they do wrong? No. You also let someone know when they didn't do well and then let them know that they can do better. When you're telling someone or your child or anyone that they didn't do anything right or you're trying to correct them, you don't just focus so much on the negative side of things. You let them know and let them know that you do it from a place of love. Even if you don't say that you're doing it from a place of love, the way you tell them would let them know that you're doing it from a place of love because you want them to be better people. And so even for kids, as you're telling your child that no, they didn't do it, even if you want to get like them, even if you want to let them know that they didn't do these things right, you also let them know that they can do it better and teach them how to do it better. And the key is being patient enough to know that kids have coconut head. You will do it or say it over and over and over again till they get it right. So, the next step or the next thing that you can do to help your child is to set achievable goals. And when I mean achievable goals, it's basically not setting them up for failure. One of the things that I am a true proponent of is teaching kids to be independent, like self-sufficient. And so sometimes I set goals for them, something that I'll probably, I've been doing for them for a very long time. Let's, use small kids as an example. Something that I usually do for them all the time. And I decide to just give them that opportunity to do it themselves so that I see if they're able to do these things. And that is one of the ways that you can help this child learn. Because there's no way someone can learn if they don't try things over and over again. Or what's that saying? Practice makes perfect. And so if you are able to set these goals for them, knowing that they can achieve it, for them, they don't know that they can achieve it. And so when they finally, even if they try, harder than you expected them to, knowing that all kids are not the same, once they achieve it and you actually give that, appraisal and comment on their effort and all of that, guess what happens? When they see tasks in front of them, they are not afraid. A lot of us don't do this because sometimes we are, caught up in the whole motherhood. You're doing everything for your children, and you're doing this and you're doing that. And to be honest, I'm not even a parenting expert. But I have learned from people. I have learned even when I'm just looking at someone, I'm looking beyond the surface. I'm looking at cause and effect. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at how setting these achievable goals for these kids can help them in the long run. Because when they see tasks ahead of them, they see tasks in front of them, they automatically think they can do it. But imagine if someone had a task in front of them, doesn't matter how small that task was, and you keep telling that child that they cannot do it, or oh no no no, I'll help you, oh no 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 no. No. And I've also learned this thing where I now ask my children if I should help them. Should I help you? Sometimes I say yes, sometimes I hear yes, sometimes I hear no. Okay. So if I hear no, I'm just standing. And it's even worse when you have children who are too self-independent, who are too independent. No, I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. As funny as it is, it's cute, but that's also something that is not also so good when you're hyper independent. And so even when you're failing, obviously failing, you need help to move forward. you do not want to call for help. That is another topic. But once you see that your child does not need your help, in fact, there's if you could just go buy yourself a bottle of wine, you do it because it's an achievement. And so these things help children to not see or not doubt themselves when they see tasks or anything in front of them. They just have this automatic mindset that they can do things by themselves without any obstacle. Another way to provide that confidence boost for your children is to create a safe environment, a safe, nurturing environment for these children. It's not every time when the parent is around. Oh, all the children cry, 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 cry everywhere. You're always shouting. You're always doing this. You're always doing that. And in fact, I see it as another level of witchcraft when you're around and then no one is ever happy. It's sadism. It's either everyone is crying, or everyone is doing this, or everyone is leaving you alone. And sometimes some people would grow up and not have a relationship with their parents. And sometimes these parents wonder why, after all the school fees, after everything I did, after bought them everything. Money is not the only thing that is needed in parenting. People need emotional stability, friendship. You don't and when I say friendship, not saying that you should be a passive parent that let your kids do everything. No, you can be a parent who has a good relationship with your kids, but you're also very stern and you are firm with values and some of these things that you're trying to teach the kids and prevent them from doing or exhibiting. So it's all about balance. And so when you create a nurturing and safe environment for these children, it also makes them feel like there's no obstacle, there's no obstruction, there's no restriction. When they go anywhere, they automatically think that everyone is like that. And so sometimes, in a good way, that makes them confident. Like they see the good in things. They don't automatically think everyone is going to shout at them. And so when they enter a space, they are, if I do anything, when you are only pointing out the bad things about them, when you're creating a very harsh, is it non-conducive or not conducive environment for your children? It has this way of building up in them. And so by the time they get into spaces, they hide, they get into shells, they're afraid to be themselves. And so if you can listen to them, if a child comes and is talking rubbish, you know that everything he's saying is rubbish. Pretend to listen. Even if you want to move your brain from there and just let them know that you're listening. It's difficult. But then when you decide that you want to become a parent, these are some of the things that you need to do. And so if at that point, that thing that is the most important thing to them, they tell it to you and you listen, guess what happens? When they get to an age where things are really important, they're not afraid to come talk to you when they make mistakes, when they need lessons, when they need guidance. And so it's important that these things that I've mentioned are provided for these children. So, in everything that I've said, I don't know if I said everything, but these are some of the things that I know. And so, if there's anything that you think that I missed or you want to add to the conversation, please put it in the comment section. In summary, having kids with a success mindset doesn't just have to do with money or them chasing blah blah. No, a success mindset is that person who just feels like nothing can stop them, and so they are allowed to be themselves, to fail. When they see things, they don't automatically think that they are failures because of their subconscious telling them or reminding them of some of the things that they have said or they have experienced. And so, if you have kids who have minimal amount of self-doubt, you're setting them up for success. You're letting them know. In fact, you're teaching them some of the things that we didn't learn and that we have learned in the long run. So imagine what they can achieve when they start early on, to know that nothing can stop them and that they can try as much as they want. I think I have done this video past whatever, the amount of time that I wanted to do it. But then if you watched till this point, thank you so much. And remember to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, ask questions, share. So until I come your way next time, bye.